So hello friends, in our previous chapter we have seen how to secure the Azure AI services, right? So now in this chapter we will learn how we can monitor the Azure AI services. So for that, first we need to go to, you just go through all the documents first. Okay, here I am showing only the labs. So that is introduction, monitor cost, how to create alerts, view matrices, all those theoretical aspects you can check. Okay, then you come here into the exercise. Let me open it. Launch lab 1. So 1, start lab. Maybe again it will take few, maybe around a minute it will. In the meantime, let me open where. In the meantime, let me open portal.azure.com. Hope you have the account. Otherwise, you just need to create an account into portal.azure.com. Okay, so I have already created an account there. So now, okay, let it come. So first check that we have many resources, right? In If you watch my previous video, then you can see monitor AI services 007. Actually here we need to create alert. So if I check this, oh, already alert has been created. Okay, so I want to show you from the scratch. Okay, so let me create a resource first. So here actually, let me first create a resources. In the resource section, just search with Azure AI services. This one, you can see that two are the resources already there, but I have already created alert in both the resources. Okay, so now let me create a third one. Free trial, definitely let me put multi-purpose resource group. Okay, so otherwise if you are first, then you need to create a new one. Okay, I have already a resource group, that's why I put it. So now name Jane AI ALERT alerts. Okay, so it is there, so it is 0. Now I think network tags, there are nothing, we need to do anything. So here, after giving these details, we need to create review and create. Okay, so it may take few seconds to few minutes according to your internet connection. Now look, it is initializing deployment. Okay, so within minutes it will be deployed. Deployment is in progress. Okay, now look, deployment succeeded. Okay, it is done. So resource group is multi-purpose. Now go to resources. In the resource sections there are show keys. So just in my previous, just like previous video, you can just make a copy of the key one, and then language API, you can copy any of the API. Okay, so let me open it. You just make a note of it. Okay, so after that, what we need to do now, we need to create an alert. Okay, so for that I have already downloaded the code in my local also. If you follow my previous videos, then you have seen that I have downloaded it. So home, GenAI alerts. Okay, so now let me create a alert. Okay, so for this, here we need to go to create, then alert rule. Alert rules, click on select all signals. Here you can go to the activity log. I am going according to the document which is listed there. Show key list. Okay, apply. So it is taking few minutes. Okay, here you can see, right, in the present scenario, so some activity was happening in the last few minutes, okay, from my end, so that's why it is there. According to the time, some activity is there. Okay, now, so in the actions tab, actually we need to create a groups. So through this group, suppose we can create a group, suppose mail group, and through that group only we will send mail, but that is required for production environment, so we do not need to do in our dev environment. Okay, so for the time being it is not required for this course, I think, because it is in the mentioned in the documents also, it is mentioned for the time being it is not required, it is required in production in that production environment. So in the details tab, set the alert rule name and to key list alert. Okay, so in the details tab, alert rule name, in the details tab, alert rule name is this key list alert. Okay, so already it is exist. You specify key read alert, key list alert 1. Okay, this name has been taken. Now select review and create. Okay, now I am creating the rule. Look, here the total alert is 0. Okay, so in the past 24 hours. Now actually I have done the alert right now, but after that I have not done any activity, so that's why it is alert is coming as 0. Okay, now let me go to the next part. Review the configuration for the select, create and alert to be created. Okay, so now you can forward, you can comment Azure AI service, resource name, resource group name, with the name of the, suppose we will do the activity now. Okay, so in our previous chapter also we have seen how we can check the logs through command line. Okay, so now let me open it. Resource name, resource group name. Okay, so here you can see resource name is GenAI alerts. Resource group name is multipurpose. Now copy it. Now I need to copy it and I need to paste it here. Okay, so let me check. Okay, so copy and paste it, it will give you the two keys. Okay, now let me refresh it. So some activity we have done, right, we have generated some, we have generated the keys. Okay, now let me refresh it. So the event may take few seconds or few minutes, okay, to reflect here. So currently it is not coming, but we will check it again after few minutes. So I have waited for few minutes and now let me refresh this. Okay, so you can refresh it because I have already refreshed it, so it was there. So again let me refresh it. So you can see that alert is alert, total alert has come 6. Okay, so that means the alert rule which we have created, and we have done some activity here. Actually we have done what we have done, we have just generated the key. Okay, so what are the key? Actually it is hitting the resources, it is hitting the resource group. On that basis some activity is happening. Okay, so that's why it is populated as total alerts, and you can see the key name which we have given the key name, so it is coming on the basis of that key name only. Okay, so now go to our next section, next part. So now let's go to our next section. So our next section is visualize a metric. So for that we need to open our code first. Okay, so Okay, so already I have downloaded the code, you can also download it. Okay, so here according to the document, let me go to the document what it is mentioned in the Azure portal, a page of the Azure metrics in the monitoring section. So let me open the Azure portal. There is one metrics, okay, in the monitoring section. So in the metrics sections there is metric and aggregation. Okay, so let me check in the aggregation list. So if there is no existing chart, select the plus new chart. Then in the metric list, review the possible matrix X you can visualize and select total calls. Okay, if there is no existing chart, currently there is no existing chart, select the new chart. Select the new chart. Okay, so in the new chart, if I coming, then it comes the column is the cursor is coming into the metric section. Okay, so what it is telling that in according to the document new chart, then in metric list review the possible matrices you can visualize and select total calls. Here let me identify the total calls. There should be one things, total calls. This one is total calls. Now if I put total calls, then there is sum, and let me put count how many total calls are there. Okay, so here currently it is showing 0, total calls is 0. Okay, so now what it is telling in the documents, in the aggregation list count the total, select the count, then it will enable you to monitor the total calls for your Azure service, which is useful to determining how much service are being used over a period of time. So I hope you understood, right? So in the aggregation list, the total count, I have selected count. So on that basis, you can identify that over a period of time how much services or how much Azure AI service it is running, and what could be the cost. You can analyze the cost also from here. Okay, to generate some request, top Azure service curl command. So we have one this curl command. Okay, just copy it, and with your endpoint URL key1 use the text analytics API in your Azure AI service. Okay, so rest test, then save the changes and then run the following rest test.cmd. Okay, first let me put it into a notepad plus plus. So here, so suppose it is the endpoint, so let me check this endpoint. Okay, let me put this endpoint. There is one extra, and another one is your key. Suppose the first key which is generated, now I need to use that key. Okay, now copy it, and we need to paste it where we need to paste it in test rest.cmd. Okay, it is done. Now if we go up to this folder, I think we are already there up to A02 Azure AI securities. Then we need to run Control C. Okay, clear. Let me clear it. Clear. Then what command we need to do? We need to go save your changes and run the following command rest test.cmd. Okay, now run. You can see it is identified that it is English, the way actually we did in our earlier labs, or error is 0. Okay, now again let me run this. So here again it is identified, the result is identified. Okay, so now let me check the matrix. Okay, so alert is 6 still. In the matrix there is total calls, correct? It was total calls and it was count. It may take few minutes. Okay, it has not come yet. So once it is come, once it will be there, i will I will show you. Okay, just wait for few minutes. Let me check the matrices. Okay, it is, you can see the alert has also become from 4, it is become 6. Okay, now from matrices here, total calls, it was total calls, and then if you check the count, look here, the count has increased. It was initially 0 and it is increased according to the time. Here it is reached at number 2. Okay, so I think this is the lab through which we have checked that how the alerts and metrics work. Actually, it will give you an overview that how your services are being used, okay, and what is the cost of it. So you can take a call that you should stop your service or you should carry on with your service. So yeah, that's all. Thanks a lot.